Hi, I'm Debbie Fischetti.
And I'm Megan Rothschild.
Welcome to Skin Talk, a show focused on melanoma awareness, early detection, and helpful prevention tips. We have a lot of great things to discuss today. Secrets to stopping the terrorist on your skin. Find out what I'm talking about. 2, Megan's top 4 skin products. And an update on the New York City Marathon, as well as having a wonderful guest share the limelight with us today. So stay tuned. I have exciting news.
I'm excited to hear it. What's up?
We're an official talk show.
We weren't before?
Well, we are now because we have
look at that!
official mugs.
Very nice.
Skin Talk, Melanoma Education Foundation.
Look
mugs.
at that, and it's got the website on it and everything.
Yep, skincheck.org.
That's
so now,
why I didn't have a mug on my table.
No, exactly. I was saving it for a surprise. So now we have some place to put our water in.
Excellent.
And everybody in the audience today gets to take one home.
Oh, very nice. When did you get these made?
Probably about a week ago.
Very cool.
It's been a work in progress, but I'm very happy to
finally have them. It does kind of make us official.
Exactly,
yeah.
That's official.
There's nothing more official than
that. So everybody, viewers watching, who are interested in also being a part of our talk show there at home when you watch us drinking your coffee, you can obtain a mug for $12 each. You can go to skincheck.org. And all of the proceeds, 100% of the proceeds, will go to the Melanoma Education Foundation. So you're not only supporting a great cause, but you have a great mug.
You have a stylish coffee mug.
Exactly.
Well, now you mentioned that we've got an update on the New York City Marathon.
Yes. Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the New York City Marathon, obviously, as everybody knows, is a wonderful race.
Right.
There was 43,500 runners and over 1 million spectators.
Oh my goodness.
You know, it's just the emotion, the reason that people run isn't just to race. It isn't just to win.
Right.
It's a reason. Either people are overcoming a tragedy, they've lost a loved one, or they do want to just support something.
Right.
So just being there, I don't know if you've ever...
I haven't been.
I get chills thinking about it because you see the faces of people holding signs. I saw a little boy holding up a sign saying, "Go Daddy," you know, and then there's, you know, a sign that said, "We remember you, Mommy." And so it really is heart-wrenching to see the emotions, not only in the runners, but the people spectating. Right. So thankfully enough, the Melanoma Education Foundation was able to be part of this particular marathon. That's awesome. It's very difficult as a runner and as a charity to get into an organization like this. Right. The New York Road Runners Association is part of the ING, and they're the ones who set the whole thing up. So you have to go through the whole process of filling out forms and things like that. So I did it. Mm-hmm. And they only pick 50. Out of hundreds and hundreds of nonprofits that apply, they only pick 50. So the Melanoma Education Foundation was one of the 50s picked. So I was so thrilled. And then they give us 10 runners. Right. You have a choice of choosing 5 to 10. We went for the gusto. Yep. We got the 10 runners, and the New York Road Runners Association, their requirement, if somebody is coming in to run for a nonprofit, is to raise a minimum of $2,500.
I was just going to ask you, I know there's a pretty hefty minimum, but... Yes,
the Boston Marathon is a lot more, and it's a lot tougher organization to get into. Wow. So it really was overwhelming. And with the 10 runners that we had, the Melanoma Education Foundation was able to raise over $23,000, which is an all-time high for us. We're a very small organization. Yeah. You know, we get 1,000 here, 2,000 there. So for this type of event to raise that type of money for us,
it's tremendous.
Is totally tremendous, because that's just more schools that we're going to be able to get into. Right. And it just brought great awareness to who we were, because, you know, I was out there with our banner. Yep. I was able to talk to so many people. I met people from Chile. I met people from Australia. I met people from
Australia, the #1 melanoma occurrence.
Exactly. So I made connections, and they had a great interest in what we do. Oh, good. So hopefully that'll be, you know, a great part moving forward. So it really, really was an awesome event, and I hope to get it next year. Yeah. I got an email from my friends at the New York Road Runners Association, so I'm going to put in the application and see.
Get in early.
I think next year I'm going to not only not be part of the spectating, because this is like my 6th year that I've gone as a spectator. Right. But this year is the most meaningful, because that's where I'm from. I'm from New York. Yep. So going back home was nice. Oh, yeah. But more rewarding because of why I was going. Right. So I think next year I'm going to try running. So if I do it, guess who's running?
Oh, I don't know about that. I am not a runner. I will cheer you on to the fullest. I can walk it. Can I walk
you'll
it?
be holding the banner.
Yeah, I'll be the banner holder. Now, I've always heard that there's celebrities that run in this race. Did you get any?
Yeah, no, I didn't see any. No, but it's funny. It's like you're standing there, and I stood there for 3 hours just trying to pinpoint the Melanoma Education Foundation runners because we had special shirts and stuff like that made for them. And I tell you, it was like, when you're driving late at night and the yellow lines, and they just sort of like mesmerize your eyes. So that's seeing these 40,000 people run past you. You're like, they all look the same after a while.
Exactly.
So, but I was able to point out 2 of the runners from our organization, from the Melanoma Education Foundation. So I cheered them on.
Yeah.
But Bobby Flay, who's my favorite.
Yes.
Chef, people don't know he's an awesome chef from New York. I didn't see him, but he was there. The guy from Subway.
Jared.
Yes, Jared. I didn't see him.
Hey, he's kind of a celebrity.
Yes, so he was there. And then Al Roker. He did it in 7 hours.
I saw on the news that oh my gosh.
Yeah, he did it in 7 hours. And I'm trying to think.
That's impressive.
Yeah, there was a bunch more. Al Roker, Jared, Bobby Flay.
Hey,
oh, and one of the
dropping.
Baldwin brothers. I think it was Alec Baldwin.
That would have excited me.
Yeah.
Good actor.
Yeah.
And a good runner, apparently. What a champ.
Yeah, I think he did it 3 hours and something.
No.
Oh, no, 4 hours.
Oh, I was
he was
like,
4 hours. No,
was
never mind.
he? Yeah.
No, Al was 7, he was 4, and I think Bobby Flay was like 3.
Oh
So
my
it was
gosh.
interesting. It was a wonderful
impressive.
event. So yeah, next year you're definitely going to have to be
I will
part
make
of it
the
with
trip.
me.
I don't know if I'm running it, but
we'll see.
I will make the trip. Yeah, so we have a very exciting guest coming up. Actually, we've got the co-founder of the Munson Memorial Classic, which is a phenomenal event, and you're going to hear all about that coming right up. I'm really excited to introduce our next guest. We've got the co-founder of the Munson Memorial Classic here. Please welcome Jack Perry.
Hi, welcome, Jack.
Hi, Debbie. Nice
Thank you
to
so
see you.
much.
Welcome.
Hi, Megan.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
I have to tell you, I'm so excited that you're here because one of my very first speeches I gave at the Munson Memorial Classic.
I remember that.
And I was so nervous because it was one of my very first speeches, but it's made me into the person I am today. So I appreciate the event more than you knew. So tell us a little bit about the event.
Well, it started in the fall of 1996. A friend of my wife Kathy's sister Kelly went to school with her, and once the girls passed away, she wanted to do something to honor them.
Right.
Her name is Lee Williams, and she's an avid runner. And so she thought of this great way to annually memorialize the girls.
Right. Now, is it a marathon? Is it a run-walk?
Well, there's actually 3 separate events. There's a certified half marathon through the rolling hills of Munson, so they say. You should hear the runners afterwards.
I can imagine.
And,
I'm just starting to run, so I'm starting to feel those rolling hills, trust me, because I run through Munson.
then there's a 5K, and there's also a 2-mile walk for the people that aren't into running but want to participate.
Support it, right. Now, how did this event get started? If you wouldn't mind sharing a little bit of your personal story.
Well, back in '96, July of '96, my wife Kathy succumbed to melanoma, and that's how it all evolved.
Right.
Kelly passed away 8 months before her from breast cancer, and so that's how it kind of evolved that way. And I was approached by Lee,
Right.
and I was kind of in a place where why not, and and then year to year now it's just grown. It's grown.
Right.
The walk has kind of subsided because the first year it was such a horrific event for the 2 girls that we had hundreds of walkers.
Right,
and over the years, the runners have increased and the walkers have decreased.
Becoming more competitive.
Yeah, this year we had a whole committee dedicated to the walk that trying to re-energize that. And so we're hoping next year that'll grow some more.
And this is the 15th year.
This has been the
that it's
15th,
done.
yeah.
Wow.
And this is your beautiful wife right here?
Yes, it is.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, this is Kathy, and this was September 23rd, 1989.
Wow.
Now, not to go into details, but just, for our viewers, is it something that was it a mole or a beauty mark, or?
It was actually,
how did the whole?
in 1988, before we got married, she had a mole on her left arm, and she had it removed, and they biopsied it, and it was benign. So we thought it was just a benign
No
mole.
big deal, right?
Almost a year later, after our wedding, you know, the same little spot came back and she had it rechecked and they took it again and this time it was malignant. And I never heard of such a thing at the time,
Right.
that you could be benign one time and malignant the next time.
Right.
And then from there, the progression of, at that time it was, they took a 3-inch diameter, like resected skin, and that's where it started.
Right.
And then it stayed away for about 4 years. Two young boys later, she had just a physical, a chest film, and it showed up on one of her lungs. And then the surgery started.
Yeah.
Now from the time that they took the larger section out, obviously you guys were on regular maintenance of,
Oh, yeah.
of going like every 3 months or every 6 months or whatever it was to getting checked.
Yes.
Right? And they gave her like, you know, what was the type of routines? Were they giving her like a full body scan or?
Yeah, that's what they did for her when we.
And they couldn't find anything
No,
else?
everything seemed to externally look fine.
Be okay, right.
Okay.
Because after that first time, they never found it externally again.
Right.
It was always internal.
Wow. Now, do you find that in having done this for 15 years, you have people who maybe you're talking about the event or you're talking about your experience, people still coming up to you and saying, just skin cancer, no big deal? Are you finding that people have that misconception, or are people starting to grasp how serious this topic is?
Well, I notice when I bring it up, you know, I don't think people take it as serious
Right.
as they should. You know, I work with people that use the tanning beds and so on, and I try to explain to them, and you know, it's one of those human
Invincibility, right?
Yeah, yeah, it can't happen to me.
Exactly.
You know, too many people have that. It can't happen to me.
And not to say that, you know, I get teased, but because of the work that I do, and obviously I'm very passionate about what I do, and I, on an unfortunate daily basis, have to write obituary cards. I don't have to write, I mean, I'm compelled to write
Right.
these cards and reach out to families, you know, like reaching out to you and just wanting to know your story and are
Right.
you okay, and getting the strength from you to be like, well, what is it that you have that maybe could help others, that they don't have to go through this, you know, and
Right.
this is the whole thing about melanoma, that people don't have to go through this.
Right.
You don't have to, like, not that I don't believe in the research and the drugs, I think that's very important,
Right.
but it's like you can get to people before they need to get to that
Exactly.
stage. So it's like there's people who, you know, be like, oh, so you're going to put your sunblock on today? Or it's like, oh, should I wear a hat? You know?
It's like, yes.
You know, and they're just like,
You have no
know, so what
idea.
did you do all day? Like, you know, fan people down and walk around an umbrella and, you know,
Right.
these types of teasing comments where it's like, you just don't,
You don't get it.
do
Yeah.
you?
Well, that's why the work you do is so important through this event, because it's reaching out to people. And, you know, have you found that a lot of people will come up to you and say, you know, I know someone who had melanoma, or so-and-so had melanoma, or I had melanoma. Are you finding that connection with people as you
Yes,
do
I
it?
worked with someone that had years ago, well, like I think before all the new drugs and treatments,
Right.
where he had a real aggressive surgery back 30 years ago, you know, and he's still melanoma cancer free now. He's moved
great.
to New Mexico.
It's almost like I find doing what I'm doing, and I'm sure you find this too. It's like this inner group, this brotherhood or this sisterhood. Because when I go out, you know, people will be like, I'll mention what I do, and they're like, oh, I had melanoma.
Right.
Or my sister had melanoma.
Yep.
Or it's like, look, I had one removed, and they're pulling up their shirt
Yeah.
or whatever. And it's almost to be like,
There's a connection, yeah.
you too,
Right.
you know, and it's nice in the sense, obviously, that they're there being able to talk about it,
Right,
and that they
exactly.
survived it, and they've gotten past that. But also too, it's like, wow, you get it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you too understand, and with that, people are like, hey, can I help? Is there something that I could do? I mean, because I think it just finally hits them to be like, you know, it isn't just skin cancer. It isn't just
Right.
like, oh, so you have to put sunblock on. Oh, you put it on, you know, 5 times.
Right.
To, you know, that kind of. And I'm not trying to talk down about that.
Right.
But you know, it's irritating sometimes when people they're trying to be funny, but it's like they just don't get.
Right.
The
It's
fact
a lifestyle
that it's so
change.
yes, and
Yeah.
I think that's what's hard. You hit it right there.
Yeah.
Where it's like I've had people come and say, I don't want to change my life.
Right.
I like going to the tanning salons. I like being out
tan.
in the sun.
Exactly.
You know, my only answer to that is that, okay, I can't control your life. I don't want you to change your life if you're not willing to change it.
Right.
But would changing your life, would going to the dermatologist at least once a year to get completely examined, would that be changing your life?
Right.
And every one
How
of
much
them said
work
no.
is that, really?
They said, no, I
Right.
could do that. And I
Yeah.
said, well, if you at least do that, then you could be saving yourself.
Exactly.
You know?
And speaking of, in what you were just saying, how people are, how can I help? How can I, be part of your kind of like army on the ground? How can people get involved in this event?
Yeah.
if
Well,
they
there's a
wanna help?
website. It's www.munsonmemorialclassic.com.
Okay.
There's a little bit of the history of the event that shows the courses and all that, mailing addresses and phone numbers. So if people want to get involved, they can go look right on the website. Just Google the Munson
And what
Memorial
is the
Classic.
date? Like, what is it that?
It's always the second Sunday in November.
Okay.
Great.
Right now it's the next few years is going to be like late November, almost middle of November because of the
Right.
way the calendar falls. But,
Right.
Okay.
yeah, I think next year's the date is November 13th.
Okay,
But it's
great.
always the second Sunday.
Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
And how are your boys handling?
They're
through
good.
this?
Well,
I
you
know that
mentioned
must have been-
dermatologists. I try to make a point to bring them to the dermatologist every year. One's very light complected like his mother. The other one's a little darker.
Mm-hmm.
One has what I can't tell a mole if
Right.
it's suspicious or not. But so they go once a year.
Good.
They've grown. They're great kids, and
How do they take, like, how is their understanding, being that they're adolescents? And obviously what the Melanoma Education Foundation does is teach, middle school students and high school students the importance of melanoma awareness. So obviously, unfortunately, what has gone through them, did they have a
And-
better understanding, more
yes,
so than
they
maybe
do.
your average
I-
adolescents,
Yeah.
the importance of
Protection.
yeah.
protection.
And my son Jesse, who's almost 20, he's pretty persistent about sunscreen when if he goes to the beach with his friends or anything. So
Good.
he understands.
Yep.
They both understand.
oh, that's good.
And my story is post melanoma where it did take the ultimate toll, and and I guess my message I like to get across to people is this doesn't have to happen. And they can prevent it. There's 3 things I never thought I would do, and that was the first one was I had to listen to my wife say, make sure you bring the boys to the cemetery.
Oh,
You should never have to hear your spouse request that of you.
Right.
The other one, I guess prior to that, was hearing the doctor say, there's no more we can do. We've done everything we can do. Because she went through some experimental treatments and everything. In New England Medical Center at the time, IL-2 was this treatment that they had. And so to hear that there was no more they could do was heart-wrenching, and you never want to stop trying,
Right.
She never did.
that's not an option
Right.
And,
when you love somebody.
Exactly.
and the other one was I never thought I'd post a DNR on my bedroom door.
It's, wow.
Do not resuscitate order, because the doctors told me I had to, if it got to that point, and that was just too much, that
Wow.
no one should ever have to do that,
Right.
and if this skin talk can make people aware of the fact that, early detection is a key, and like you said, once a year going to the dermatologist, people go to the doctor once a year anyways.
Exactly.
No
Make
big
it part of
deal.
your routine.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely the one cancer that can be cured by education, by talking, simply talking
Yep.
about it and being aware. So,
Absolutely.
every little aspect of what we do, we're hoping is going to spread the word and help. So
Yeah.
we can't thank you enough for sharing your
Well,
story.
thanks for having me. I really
and,
appreciate it.
And all the struggles that you've gone through, and you seem like you have beautiful boys, and you're an awesome human being, and being part of this
With an awesome event.
yeah, this awesome event. So
Great.
I'm sure that the money that's raised and all that has also been a good factor of saving
Yeah,
some
in the
lives.
past we've some of the benefactors we have given money to the Shade Foundation.
Great group.
You worked with
I
Sean.
did. I worked with Shonda Schilling. Yep,
And
absolutely.
we also, at this point, there's a running group called Griffin's Friends. That is, there's a little 14-month-old boy, Griffin Kelleher, that died at 14 months old. And so this is a group that helps families and kids deal with, pediatric cancer.
Right. All great work.
Yeah, and hopefully now that we've met,
Yes.
we can take it a
Definitely,
step
take
further.
it, definitely.
Absolutely.
I just want to thank you again so much for coming on the show. It
my
was
pleasure.
an honor. It was an honor to have you.
And before you go, we have a little bit of a gift. There
Thank
you
you.
are. Thank you so much for coming.
Christmas comes early.
Yes.
Yeah, right?
So,
Oh, look at
that is the official MEF water bottle that we used in our races. So hopefully we could use those for your race next year and
Yes.
hand them out to some ones. And of course,
Skin Talk
Now
mug.
you have a nice
Obviously.
month.
how could you leave with not getting a Skin Talk mug?
What else? One
And
more.
of course, yes, because if she's not running with me the New York City Marathon
Then
next
you are.
year, you are. You've had 15 years experience.
I
I
vote
haven't
you.
been running at all.
But it's the our official
If you
MEF.
hold it up here.
Sure.
Yeah, it's our official Melanoma Education Foundation New York City Marathon running shirt. So
Thank you very much.
well, thank
Perfect. And thank you so much for being here. And stay tuned. I've got my top 4 sunless tanning products coming up next.
Welcome back to Skin Talk. We just had Jack Perry from the Munson Memorial Classic here with us today. Wasn't it just awesome to have him here?
So nice. I love the whole event. I mean, it's just an amazing event.
There's actually an article in the Journal Register about the whole race and the whole event, and they raised over $6,000.
That's awesome.
So I know in talking to him prior that what they do with that money is they sort of divvy it out
Right.
to different charitable organizations to help support cancer and melanoma. So it's just so nice to have people to do that.
I have the same passion.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, that's what we do. What
I
we do,
know.
right? Let's go to your top
Yes.
4. I'm dying to hear what you
Well,
have for us in store this week.
One of the things that I find out and I speak is that people, you know, they ask for safe alternatives. Well, I want to have that tan look, or like you were talking about before, people don't want to change their behavior. They want to still get that tan. And the first thing I always say to that is sunless tanners. And the immediate response that I get is, I don't want to be orange.
Oh, I know. I was
I don't want to be
gonna say that.
orange. I don't want to be streaky. People, that is not what's happening anymore.
Like they put
I
it
mean,
on and you get a handprint.
Right,
You're trying to
exactly. That, I've been using sunless tanners now for over 5 years. That's what was happening when I first started. I was getting, you know, there was products that turned you orange, there was issues. They have far surpassed that. They have perfected the science. They're
Well,
there.
anything over time
Gets better.
Gets better.
Exactly. There
You would
was, you know, so I think that that kind of scared people off a lot. So I put together my top 4 list because I love to tell people that, you know, if you're that desperate to get a tan and you don't love the skin that you're in, here's how you can get a safe tan. And I have personally tested all of these sunless tanners.
Okay.
So number 4.
And I know you, and I don't think you've, in
Yeah.
any of the time I've known you, and all this time, have you ever looked orange?
Right. Exactly. That's
Just
what I
your
like to
hair,
hear.
and it's a beautiful orange. So, other
That's the
than
only
that,
orange about me. So number 4 is actually Jergens Natural Glow. The reason that I like this sunless tanner is it's very cheap. A lot of people are concerned about sunless tanners being expensive. This is $7.99 a bottle. It's,
the tanning salon. I mean,
I know, the tanning salon's
this is
expensive too.
definitely the least expensive way to go, and it's
Absolutely.
so much safer.
So, you know, price is great. Smell, I give it about a 3 out of a 5. It's okay. A lot of people worry about, you know, sunless tanners having an odor. It's pretty decent. The length of the tan, not as great because you do have to apply it every day. It's a daily application.
I put lotion on every day.
Exactly.
I
Well,
mean,
the great
you
thing
wake up,
about
take
it.
a shower, whatever.
Exactly. The great thing about it is if you were to have a streak or you were to miss a spot, you're not going to notice it as much with the Jergens because you're applying it every day.
Now, do these have the you know?
No.
Okay.
So that's
the
one thing.
UV protection and stuff like that in it.
Right.
they
No,
don't.
that's
Okay.
one thing to note is actually if you use a sunless tanner, it does not mean you have a base tan. It does not mean you have an SPF built into your skin. You still have to apply an SPF on a regular basis.
Okay.
Number 3 is Victoria's Secret Beach Sexy. I love this sunless tanner just because
I didn't even know they made
it's
that.
yeah, they do. It's a new product that they just came out with either this year or last year. And the reason that I love it is because it actually has like a built-in guide. It turns your skin, it's actually got sparkle in it, and
Oh,
it turns your
cool.
skin a sparkly brown color right away. So you can actually see where you're applying it, where you've missed, so you're not going to get that streak, you're not going to have those issues. As far as price-wise goes, it's actually pretty good. It's a little bit more expensive than the Jergens. I think it runs about $12, $13 a bottle.
Okay,
It lasts for quite a few days. The smell is actually pretty
you wouldn't
good.
have to apply this every day?
No, you don't have to
Okay.
apply this one every day. You apply it, once every couple days to kind of keep the tan going. Smells great. So
I gotta try that.
Yeah, I say that one's definitely good. My number 2 is a little bit harder to find. It's Alba Botanical Sunless Tanner. It's a natural organic sunless tanner that you generally find at places like Whole Foods or some of the more mom and pop co-op grocery stores. You're not going to find this going into a Stop and Shop or a Big Y.
Is it because it's more organic or more natural?
Yeah, they say it's more emollient. It's natural. I mean, I don't really know. Alba makes products that are generally organic, so I think that's why. But you wouldn't recognize that in the price. It's only $8.99.
Oh, wow.
So definitely a good price, good smell. Consistency of the application is great, and this one, same thing as with the Victoria's Secret. You've got to apply it.
Oh, every day.
Every couple of days.
Okay, that's right.
So,
It's the Victoria's Secret. I like the one that you don't have to do every day.
right, and that's
Less-
this is
less
all
maintenance.
personal experience. This is just what I've encountered over the years.
Great information. Great.
My top most favorite is
I thought it'd be the Victoria's Secret. I'm like eyeing that Victoria's Secret one.
No.
but- So
Clarins.
really,
Hands down. Clarins actually was the first company to patent their sunless tanner formula. They were the only ones they came out and they said, we are not going to turn you orange. We've patented the formula, the ingredients in this, and it is guaranteed to give you a nice bronze color. And it really does.
And what about the price?
It's pricey. It's $30 a bottle.
Oh, wow.
You're going to get 3 applications out of it. So if you think about it, it's 3 visits to a tanning salon or something like that.
that
or
we
it's
don't wanna do.
comparable. Right. No, exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like, it's comparable
You have more
to.
for your money in this.
Exactly.
And how long do you think that the
Lasts about 5 to 7 days.
So you only have to
So-
apply it once. It'll last 5 to 7
Once
days.
a week. Yep. You're going to keep the color up.
Okay. And why do you think this is your favorite out of the others?
Just
the
because I
price.
think no, not the price. The consistency and
That it gives like the color.
The
it
color,
gives
yeah.
more like a bronze, whereas
Exactly.
the other ones give more like a brown.
like an even
kinda
skin tone. Like the Jergens really evens out your skin tone. It's just Clarins to me looks the most natural. And the good thing about Clarins is, for me, I'm so fair that you don't want to have this night and day. You don't
Yeah.
want to be pale, 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 and then come out looking really, really dark. Clarins is a progressive. Like, you can apply it the next day if you want to go darker, but you don't have to. You can just have that nice hint of bronze,
And it'll
even
stay.
skin tone. I would definitely recommend Clarins as being the number 1.
Well, there you have it. So thank you for your wonderful tips. It was amazing information, and thanks to your guinea pig experience.
Yeah, my pain is everyone's gain.
Well, hey, it's a dirty job. I know
Somebody's
it was
gotta
awful,
do it, right?
but somebody has to do it. Yeah.
Just happens to be me.
Yeah, I still can't believe Victoria's Secret did one. I have
Yeah.
to try that one out.
Let me
But
know what you think.
I
Report
have
back
to,
next
I'm going
show.
to do the clearance and the
Comparison.
and let you know.
Good.
I would like to just bring out a great big thank you again for Jack for joining us today. And thank you for tuning in. For more tips or to obtain more information, visit skincheck.org. Be sure to watch us again, as we will be airing once a month. So check your local listings for next airing dates and times. And thanks for watching.